Welcome to another awesome day of FileMaker Training. I'm Richard Carlton, fmtrain.tv. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have Nick is here. In fact, we're working on trying to make sure Nick has topics. We have concerns that Nick might be running out of things to tell you guys. Hopefully he has more things to do. Next week he's scheduled. All right, so real quick, upcoming broadcast schedule. We talked about that briefly. You got some Nick. We got Fridays will be the standing fire extinguisher action. It's just going to be fire extinguisher Fridays. We're going to call it that. Nick, are you ready to start the conversation today?
Yeah, I'm ready. So
what are we talking about today?
Okay,
what are we
doing? Talk about the CalStar window. And so
a bunch of people were asking about that the other day. In fact, it was Larry. Larry was talking about the CalStar window or something.
So yesterday I explained how to manipulate the CalStar window. I explained how to use them. And so now we're going to explore how we can use those CalStar window, to help us doing things, right? So I want to, build from scratch or, a file, really easy file, right? So this is a test of the cards, okay? So let's test. So we have a file here, really easy file. So let's say we have contacts, okay? And in a contact, I have an ID, very important, right? So remember, I always told you that I always have a parent key in every single of my tables, always, if I have a table, underscore ID on top, it's always always ready to be used, and I have a, let's say, first name and last name. Okay, so something like this, right? So we have this, right? And then we have another table, right? Another table, projects, right? So we have a table projects, and in the table projects, I have the same type of, I have an ID project, right? I have an ID project, and I have the title, and I have a summary. Oops. My mouse is gluing. I have a summary, right? And I have maybe some, some products, right? So let's say products. So I copy paste this, products. And I change this, and I'll change this by ID products. Right, and name and type, okay? So this is what I have in my tables, okay? Type. So here, right, I have my contacts, right? And I have my project and my type. Now, okay, in my contacts, I want, right, all the projects related to that contact and all the products related to that contact, right? So to do so, I need in every single of those tables a foreign key, IDF, a foreign key for contacts. So I'm creating this so that the foreign key for contact, I'm putting that in projects and in contacts. So now I have my foreign key. So I have my contacts, my project, my products. So far, so good. It's very easy, right? So now in my contacts here, I can put the list of products or projects first, right? So I'm putting this and this, and I have a list of products, right? Name, type, right? So far so good. It's not too complicated to understand. But what is important to know, right? Right? It's how to use the CalStar window in my advantage. So the first, before I go further with this, right, I want to show you something about the CalStar window. Okay. Before we go there, okay. So I have, let me present this as a table view. Right? I have contacts, I have projects, and I have products. 3 tables, right? So far, okay. So what happened if I have a script, right, that says I have a script that do this. New window, right? On the CalStar window, it's a CalStar. And I say, I go to projects, right? I go to projects, and I want to create 10 records, right? So I want to create 10 records in that table. So I'm doing the loop, right? New record, right? And I want to set the fields. I'm in projects. So I'm going to projects, and I said project number, and I put the get record number. Okay. So I have a script doing this, and then I go to another layout, right? I do the same. Products, I do the same for the products. And close the window. But I need to exit the loop if get found counts, equal 10. Okay. So I'm creating 10 records, and I go away. So what happens if I do that script? Okay. It do this. So I'm running the scripts from the contacts, right? So I'm running the script here. So let me put it here. I'm running the script, create records. You saw absolutely nothing, right? And you say, okay, nothing happened. See, yes, this happened. I have my 10 records. So you saw absolutely nothing, right? So let's do it again, but running the debugger, okay? So running the debugger. And here what happened? New window, it's a CalStar window. New record, new record, new record, new record, new record, etc., until 10. And now you're doing the same on the other window with the products, right? I'm creating 10 products, and then close. That's what he did. So now, right? So I open a window, but you didn't see anything, okay? Why? Because it was very, very fast. When FileMaker, I think it's two seconds or something like this, it has a time, like a timeout. When if your action is less than 2 seconds, it is not going to display anything. It's just do the thing, but without displaying anything. Okay. So if you exceed, I don't know, I think it's 2 seconds, 1 second and a half. I don't remember the timeout, but you have a timeout. So now I want to show you something. So you understand what's going on. I want to show you something. I'm going to create two layouts, right? One layout from products, and I'm going to call that splash products. Okay. And I'm going to open that. And I'm going to make it a splash screen. So I showed you yesterday how to do that, but now I'm going to do it in front of you. Okay. So, and I'm doing, creating products. So this is, okay. So this is a splash screen for products. That means I have a layout that points to the table products, showing a text saying I'm creating products. Now I'm duplicating this, and I'm doing the same for projects. So now I have another splash screen pointing to project, and I say projects. Okay? So let's now modify my script here that I have, right, to do something like this. New window showing the splash screen of projects. And then I'm saying that I want to go to the splash screen of products. Here what happened. Here what happened. With the debugger. Opening the window. So now it shows that I'm still in contact, right? You think you are in contact, but you're not. You are in projects. The get table, the table name is projects, right? The table name is projects. So I'm no longer in contact. Look, I was in contact, right? Table name contacts. But doing this, I'm still in contact, but doing this, new window, car style, boom, I'm projects. But it looks like I'm still in contact. I never leave the contact layouts, even though I did. But visually, I don't. It's very important. So everything that I'm going to do after that will happen on the project table. So this is what I do. New, 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 and new. 10 times. I think, yeah, I know what happened. I forgot to remove, delete those records, delete projects, delete. Okay, so let's redo. So I'm here, I have debugger, new, I'm in project, I'm creating my 10 records. One, okay. Okay, now I'm going to products. So now I'm no longer in project, I'm in products. But visually, I never left contacts. Okay? So I'm doing my 10. And I close the window. So I go, I open the CASTA window, right? I go, I do my stuff, whatever I want to do, right? And then I close, right? So it is perfect to do what I'm going to do right now, right? Let's say I'm setting a variable, set variable, okay? So, and the variable is the current contact ID. No, I have a better idea. Let me show you the good way. In every single of my development, every single. So I just told you that in every single table, I have a parent key in every single table, right? Always. I have a parent key in every single table. But I have also another technique I'm doing. I have always in every single of my layouts, okay? I have a trigger on record load. Always I have this trigger on record load. I always have it, okay? And contacts. So what is doing? Is doing this, setting a variable, right? And it's the current contacts ID. And I want this. So what this will do, and of course, I want that on record load. So to do that on record load, you go to the layout here, the layout option, and you have the script triggers on record load, and you put this one. So what this do? Right. I have a contact ID here, right? On every time. So let's say I have many contacts. I have 9 contacts. Every time you land in a record, I'm setting a variable with the ID. So this here, it's 50 B6. If I change record, it's 7cc. If I change record, it's D4cc. That means now this ID is available throughout the solution. My current contact ID is this. That's the last one I've landed. Okay? So now, if you're smart, I know you are, I'm copying the ID, this variable, And I'm going to put that variable in every single of my contact foreign keys here and here. Here as an auto entry calculation. So I want, because when you build something, when you build a system, it's a system, okay? So it is a succession of technique that you use, right? And you need to always think about the next step. An example, when you build a house, you need to coordinate what the electrician will do. You need to coordinate what the plumber will do. You need to coordinate what the roofer will do. You need to, because you're not alone. When you build, you cannot build a wall and the electrician will say, okay, yeah, your wall is good, but where I'm going to put my wires, right? So if you didn't think about the wires, you will be in trouble when it comes the electrician putting the wires. So when you build a FileMaker solution, you need to think the same way, okay? You need to think the same way, okay? So here, what did I do? I know that I will need IDs to connect and create relationship, right? So that's why, and I know that I'm going to use car window to do that. That's why in every single of my table, I have the parent key as a variable in an on record load or what's the name, trigger. So pretty much I have the same for this. I am the same for projects, and I have the same for products, right? Because I just say that I have the same variable. So this is the project ID. So it's the project ID, the parent key, right? And I have the same for the products. So products. And I'm going there, and I'm going to products, and I'm doing this, right? And now I'm going to put that in every of my layouts. This is project, so I'm putting project here. And this is products, so I'm going to put that on product as well. Right? So now, if I'm doing this, I have the current product ID and the current contact ID, which was the last one I left. If I go to project, so now I have a project. So I have the current project, the current product, the current contact, right? So the one I'm visiting, that's the last one I'm visiting. This was the last one I visited, was D4CC, right? The last project I visited was 7CC, let's, 7CC. And the last product I visited was 2D, right? So I'm good, right? So each time I'm landing in a record, in a table, I catch the latest product, the latest primary key. Right? So, and that I'm doing in every single of my tables. So let's go back to contacts. And now you say, okay, I have all my building blocks, and I can now use them. For example, I want to create related contacts, related product and related projects for this contact. I want to create them, you know. So, right? So, what do? Right? I'm going to the table project here, and I just did it, right? I put the current, I put the global variable where I have the current contact ID, and I put that in the foreign key of the contact. Okay. So now that is done, right? Imagine that script here. Imagine that I'm doing this from here. So I'm here and I'm saying create, okay, create record, okay, related record, and I'm launching this. You know, I'm launching this scripts. So I don't know where, if I have a, okay. Okay. I'm launching this script. Make sure that I have 0 product and 0 delete all. You know, delete all. Right. So what happened now, right? If I run that script, this, right? So I have magically linked records to one record, right? But I didn't leave the context. Remember, yesterday I told you about context, right? I didn't leave the context. I never left the window, right? So what did really happen? So let me fix this script a little bit, because otherwise I will have problems. So I need to put a counter, right? To make sure that I don't have to delete the record all the time. And right. That will be better. Right? So let's go there, and I do this for that. You know. Counter. Oh. Yeah, because I already have one, so I need to have 2. It's okay. So I'm going there and I'm creating this. I'm creating records, right? So I'm going there, I'm creating records, right? There, creating records. So, and I don't leave the context. So what happened really, thanks to the car star window, right? I'm doing this, I'm opening this, I am in project, I'm doing my stuff. But remember, I'm starting from that record, 0C872. So that ID is in that variable here. 0C872 is there. So now that script is just creating new records, right? That's what it's doing, creating new records. On those tables, it goes first in project, create new record, and then it goes to product, create new records. But on the ID, on the foreign key of contacts, I said, when you create a record, I want to whatever in that variable to get inside this field. That's why when I'm here, I'm going to create related record for that ID. And if I'm there, if I create a new one and I create a related record, I will, because now I changed this variable. It's 8fcdd, 8fcdd, right? So when I create this, boom, they will be related to that one, right? So just because, so we could do that before with a normal window, right? But it's not at all the same, right? Because what happened if it takes longer? Okay, so let's say it takes longer. Yeah, but that's too fast. I'm local, that's why. I'm not on the server. So let's say it takes longer. Man, it's too fast. it's weird to say that FileMaker is too fast. Okay, so new record, right? Creating projects, creating products. So that's clean, right? So only if it needs to display, it will display the window. If it doesn't need, you know, like this, is not even going to display it. Isn't it cool, right? Doesn't need it here. Yeah, it needs it, but it's okay. Boom, right? Oh, because I didn't save the no. So now it doesn't need it. Boom, bam. If it needs, right, it will show you the window, right? So new record. Now it needs to display, boom, it display, and boom, it display, and close, right? So now you will never ever leave, and I don't know if you noticed, I want to show you something. I'm here, right? I have this selected, or this field, okay? Let's create a new record. I'm here, I create records. And I'm still there. I never left. I never left the field, right? Let's say you said this. Let's say I'm modifying the script. Okay? I'm modifying the script. I'm not saying new window. I'm saying go to layout, project, and go to layout, splash. And I don't close the window. I say go to layout, original. Okay, that is the 1986 version of this, right? So what happened, right? So let's have another script here, another button. Put here, called bed, right? And this script here is going to this one. So what happened? It happened this. So you go, okay. So I left. So if I'm here, if I'm in this, if I'm here and I click here, first of all, it's way slower, see? Boom. But I left and I committed the record. I committed the record when you do this, right? When you do this, you didn't. And it's faster, right? So, boom. Here, I never left and I never commit. So do we have any questions?
Yeah, we do got one from Stu. This technique of auto-completing the IDF contact with the last visited ID contact is very efficient. It seems like it could cause problems if you create a project from an account or another non-contact context. Wouldn't it add the last visited contact as the IDF, even if it's not actually related?
No, it's not. We don't care. It's the last visited. It's like I said. It's a way of building things. Okay, so here, for example, if we go to that, if we go here, for example, if we go there, so here I have all my accounts. So I know the latest I have. When I'm here, I'm there. I know the current account ID is this. I know it, because I'm there. I'm seeing it. So if I want to create related contact, related estimate, invoice, project, task, I'm just using the technique I told you. You create a contact using the latest, using the latest visited one, because you're there. If you are here in that record and you click here, you don't want to create a record for that account. You want to create for the one activated. If not, I want this. If I go there, the account ID change, right? It change as you go. So now, when you know you have your latest current ID here, add contact to that account, super easy. Add estimate for that account. So you understand is when you have a design well done, right? And you here and you want to create contacts from here, you use that technique, right? That makes sense. This is how it works. And that's why I always have, for example, so let's say I'm here, okay? And I want to add a contact, right? So I left the context. I always have my latest visited account stuff here is there always, right? That the latest visited, right? And I want to create a new one, right? So I want to create a new whatever, a new whatever contact, and I want to create another one, create, So I create those. I'm creating from a context, I'm in a contact context. I'm no longer, here. Okay. So I have two contacts created here. I'm validating this. I have two contacts created, right? But if I validate this, boom, they're here, right? They are added to the current accounts because all the way along, I had the latest account ID available. So even if you start there, if you start from here, and even if you go deep like this, because it's a global variable, this ID will always be available, right? So and you can even do what I'm doing often, right? I'm sending this current ID stuff here on the script parameter, and I'm sending that to a P source, and I said, okay, deal with it. This is my current account ID where I'm in. Everything you need to do is with that ID because I am in that record, right? But you need to have a UI that's, help you, doing this. It's a whole, it's a construction, right? It's like a building when you have the guy doing the walls, need to talk to the guy doing the plumber, and need to talk to the guy doing the electrician. And the electrician need to talk to the plumber because you don't want a wire in the middle, across the cutting in a half the pipe for hot water, right? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. And here, everything depends of the next thing, right? I have this layout where I'm starting from that layout to create things, right? If I go to contacts, now I am in that contact, and if I add estimate, I will add estimate for that contact, right? So this is a really good technique because you sure that you have your ID available all the time, right? So, any other question?
Yes. Can this hold on, we're gonna do Stu's first. I think Nick misunderstood my question. What if create a project from a non-contact context, such as a form, such as from an estimate? It will attach the project to the last visited contact, even if it's not the contact with the estimate I created the project from. How do we handle this?
I think I don't understand. So can you rephrase for me, please?
Yes.
Repeat for me. Repeat.
Yeah, I think what if you create a project from a non-contact context, such as from an estimate? It will attach the project to the last visited contact, even if it's not the contact with the estimate I created the project from.
Yes, but in that case, you can do it smartly. Let me explain. Let's say, yeah, now I understand. Let's say I have this project, right? Okay, and this project is related to that contact. Okay? So, but my last visited contact was, it was the same, but let's say here is my last visited contact, 00550. And here I am in that project, but it's 916C, right? It's not the same contact. So it's very simple. Let's say you want that possibility to happen. You just do this. You go to that on record load and you say, yes, I need the project ID, but also the foreign key attached to that project ID as the new current contact ID. So your problem is solved because now here I am in contact and I am in 0050. But if I go to project, boom, now I am in 916BF4, because you just said, I want to reset the same name, the same variable, okay? You understand? I think I answered the question.
That would work, thanks. Yep, okay, cool.
Makes sense? So now you understand the power of that on record load stuff, right? You understand? So, and now you understand also why I'm using this technique only and only on the data entry layouts. I'm using this on record load only on the layouts I use to give the user to enter, edit data. That's why I never, ever use that layout to do things on scripts like go to contact, new record, delete record. No, I'm not using this. I'm using a table view. I'm using another layout, right? Contact table. Contact table. And it's a table view of my contact layouts. But I never put any triggers on that layout. on the table view layout. On the layout I use for what's the name? And the layout I use for the table view. I mean, this layout, I'm using it to go, to do things on script. I never edit. I'm never entering data and edit data in that layout, right? I always use the data entry layout. Right? But that's why, for when you use a layout on the script, you want a layout free, completely free of those things. You shouldn't have one layout used on the scripts that has one of those triggers. You use the triggers only when you have a data entry, when the layout the user will use, right? It's a good advice that I'm giving you. Never use a data entry layout to do things on the scripts. Never. Right? So if we have another question.
Can this routine send you to a layout where the user creates real data, then back to the script? Example, from customer, you create X number of assets based on required information for another layout and then come back to where they started?
Yes, so that's totally possible with the Casa window. And so, and I have the same example. I have an example here. That's what I want to show tomorrow, but I can sneak peek a little bit right now. If I go there, if I go here, so, so you here, you are in accounts, you create a contact, you want to add a contact, you are in one layout, and then you want to create one, you have another layout, right? And then you can create, your stuff here. So you can, create your stuff, and everything is linked to the original accounts thanks to the ID that you have here, right? So that tomorrow, I'm going to show you that tomorrow, how to use the Casa window as an extension of the what's the name of the current of your current layout, right? It's to extend your current layout. And I'm going to use an example that is spectacular because we were using popover before, right? So now we use this, and I'm going to show you the benefits of this. So that tomorrow. So we have another question.
No, I think we're good.
Okay. So I think it was interesting, and I will continue tomorrow for the last day.
Yes, it'll be great. I'm excited.
Okay, cool.
Cool. Thank you very much, Nick.
Okay, thank you, and thank you, everybody. See you tomorrow.
Yep.
Got a report of an individual up here who maybe a FileMaker license. Well, it's potentially expired. Look at the back of that car right there. Looks like the FileMaker license has expired. Sir, I need you to step out of the vehicle. Sir, step out of the vehicle. Sir!